Chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. It is funny how everyone pretended they did not see you coming. They always described you the exact same way to others. You were always too kind. You were always too forgiving. You were the one who stayed quiet, just to keep the peace in the family. And because of that gentle and yielding nature, they severely underestimated your inner strength. They thought your kindness was a permanent weakness they could exploit forever, but they made a massive miscalculation that they will deeply regret today. Welcome to your brand new era of quiet authority. The same people who ignored your texts and drained your energy are suddenly feeling incredibly uncomfortable around you. They thought their cruel betrayal would finally break your spirit for good, but instead, it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside your soul. Do not swipe away from this message today. Heaven is about to expose exactly what is happening behind the scenes in their miserable lives. Those who plotted against you in secret are currently watching everything they built crumble to the ground. A beautiful table is being prepared for you right in their presence. They thought they could just put you on a dusty shelf. They assumed you would sit there quietly and wait for them to return when they were bored. But they are drowning in the bitter consequences of their own toxic choices right now. And your silence is absolutely deafening to their ringing ears. You can literally feel that slight shift in the atmosphere around you today. That is the heavy weight of their ultimate regret crashing down on them. They realize now that they threw away the most genuine soul they will ever encounter in their entire lifetime. They are stalking your life from the dark shadows. They are desperately trying to figure out how you managed to survive the exact storm they sent to completely destroy you. You did not just survive their nasty storm because you completely reinvented yourself while they were not looking at you. Your very presence now demands respect, without a single word being spoken from your mouth. You became the terrifying storm you were trying so hard to survive. The narcissists who used you are now completely cut off from your spiritual supply line forever. They are starving for the pure light you used to give them so freely in the past. It is a beautiful and poetic kind of divine justice. They are terrified because they can no longer manipulate a person they cannot access. You finally learned how to close the heavy door, and heaven firmly sealed that door shut from the outside so they can never return. You are no longer the broken empath who begs for basic human decency. You stepped fully into your new and powerful role as a master of your own reality. While they are losing absolute control over their lives, you are gaining absolute dominion over your future path. But before we go any further into their downfall, I want to hold something very important in front of your eyes. Something that was discovered not inside a quiet church or a spiritual healing community. It was found deep inside a highly prestigious research laboratory. It won the highest scientific recognition available, and most chosen ones have never been told about it. Because it explains something I know you have felt deep inside your tired bones for many years. It explains the massive gap between the person you know yourself to be and the brutal struggles you faced. I will show you exactly what the brilliant researchers found, but I cannot reveal the specific details to you just yet. First, I really need you to fully understand what was violently taken from you in your past. You must hold this one critical question in your mind as you listen to my voice today. What if the frustrating gap you feel is not a character flaw at all? What if it actually has a very specific scientific name? The jealous people who put you on that shelf do not know this ancient secret, and they will never understand the power it holds. If you leave this video now, you will completely miss the incredible revelation that explains your entire life. Do not let them win by walking away before you get the final piece of the complicated puzzle. Stay entirely focused on my words right now. Your weary spirit brought you here today because it is literally starving for this exact validation. And you know deep down in your gut that your immense suffering was not a random coincidence. You were deliberately isolated by the universe for a specific divine purpose. And now the painful season of isolation is officially coming to a glorious and highly profitable end. They are violently choking on their own regret, while you are stepping into a profound new level of spiritual awareness. Every single tear you cried alone in the pitch dark was carefully recorded by the angels. Every time they viciously mocked your big dreams, the universe took very detailed notes. The cosmic scales of justice are finally balancing out in your absolute favor this year. 2026 is the undeniable year of the ultimate spiritual reversal. They will be forced to watch you receive the exact massive blessings they tried so hard to steal from your open hands. So take a very deep and cleansing breath right now. Let the reality of your new power settle into your racing mind. You are completely untouchable now because you are fiercely protected by divine forces they cannot even begin to comprehend. Listen very carefully to what I am about to say to you next, because the shocking truth about your hidden mental mechanism is going to change the way you walk through this world forever. Prepare your heart for the ultimate and sweet vindication you have been waiting for. Let us talk about that dusty shelf they so casually placed you on. You remember exactly how it felt to be slowly discarded by the people you loved. Your chest still gets incredibly tight when you think about those cold nights. You gave them your entire heart, and they treated it like a convenient toy. They used your brilliant light until they were completely full, and then they simply walked away without a single backward glance. You spent countless exhausted hours staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning, and you constantly asked yourself what you did wrong to deserve such cruel treatment from them. The heavy weight of that painful rejection literally made your physical body ache. You tried so hard to be perfect so they would finally choose you again. You compromised your own deep values just to keep a completely fake connection alive for them. Stop blaming yourself for their massive spiritual failure right now. You were never put on that shelf because you were somehow defective or entirely worthless. You were put there because your pure spiritual frequency was completely overwhelming to their dark nature. They could not manipulate a soul that is inherently designed for kingdom-level greatness. The narcissists did not reject your love. They rejected the blinding light that exposed their hidden shadows. That terrible isolation you endured was not a brutal punishment from the universe. It was actually a highly advanced divine protection protocol to keep you safe. Heaven deliberately allowed them to walk away to protect your precious energy, because if they had stayed in your life, they would have drained your spiritual reserves completely dry. You had to experience that agonizing separation so you could finally learn how to stand entirely alone. Tap the like button right now as an act of powerful agreement with what heaven just spoke to your tired spirit. Let that physical action be the moment you completely release the heavy guilt of your past. You are safely anchored in a brand new timeline of total clarity today. And this brings us to the shocking truth about what really happened inside your beautiful mind. There is a deeply hidden reason why you felt so powerless during that toxic cycle. It was not a lack of strong faith or a failure of your personal discipline. It was a physical brainwave that the modern world slowly suppressed in you before you could defend yourself. Here is exactly what they never wanted you to know about your own brilliant mind. The reason the universe responds effortlessly to certain lucky people is not just blind faith. It is a very specific and measurable frequency. Scientists have a formal name for this incredible state of being. They call it the gamma brainwave, and it is the exact same frequency your brilliant brain was running when you were just a small child, back when brilliant ideas came so easily to your pure mind, without any struggle, when learning complicated new things felt completely effortless and natural. Do you remember how you somehow knew things long before they even happened? That was your gamma brainwave working at its absolute peak capacity. The entire world felt like it was completely on your side back then. But then, the harsh reality of adulthood finally arrived at your front door. And the dark modern world went to work on your beautiful and sensitive spirit. The relentless daily stress and the endless survival routine started to crush your natural gifts. The rigid school system trained your beautiful mind to conform instead of creating freely. Every single year, this sacred frequency was pushed a little deeper below the surface. They needed you to be a tired worker instead of a powerful creator, until the amazing version of you with lightning intuition went completely silent. The version of you that carried incredible luck was locked away in the dark. When your gamma faded away, your natural genius faded right along with it. Your sharp intuition became dull, and the beautiful synchronicities completely stopped happening. The warm sense that the grand universe was working with you went entirely cold. That is exactly why you felt like you were constantly swimming against a very strong current. You were trying to manifest a beautiful reality with a broken internal receiver. Most ordinary people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this tragic suppression happened to them. They will accept their miserable fate and just keep working the heavy grind while they slowly lose all hope for a better tomorrow. But you are absolutely not most people. You felt the terrible loss of that genius state in your bones every single day. You knew deep down that a vital part of your spirit was missing. You just never had a name for the silent thief. And the mysterious question I asked you to hold a few minutes ago, the important question about a massive gap and a hidden scientific name. The answer to that open loop is getting much closer than you think. You are starting to see the invisible cage they built around your mind, and you finally realize that the people who put you on the shelf benefited directly from your suppressed frequency, because a suppressed chosen one is very easy to control. The heavy fatigue you feel every single day is not your natural resting state. It is the exhausting result of your brain trying to operate without its ultimate power source. Imagine trying to drive a powerful sports car with the parking brake fully engaged. That is exactly how you have been living your life for the past 10 years. But the heavy chains of that invisible brake are finally starting to rust and break apart today. I need you to completely release the heavy burden of guilt you are carrying today. You have spent entirely too much time reviewing your past mistakes. You constantly replay old conversations in your tired mind to see exactly where you went wrong. But the truth is that you did absolutely nothing to deserve that pain. You were just operating with a pure heart in a cold world full of bitter deception. It is finally time to stop apologizing for your deep capacity to love the unlovable. You genuinely believed that your intense loneliness was a harsh punishment from above. You watched everyone else easily form connections while you sat completely alone in the dark. But that painful season was never meant to break your spirit, because it was a rigorous period of divine isolation designed to fiercely protect your aura. Heaven was incredibly busy, building an invisible fortress around your beautiful soul. The universe had to forcibly remove those counterfeit connections from your life. They looked exactly like good friends or loving partners on the superficial surface. But heaven could clearly see the dark daggers they were hiding behind their fake smiles, and the universe quickly intervened before they could strike your heart. You only saw their amazing potential, while the divine realm saw their incredibly dangerous intentions. You cried countless tears over the sudden loss of people who were actively destroying your frequency, and you constantly begged the silent universe to immediately bring them back to you. But heaven answered your desperate prayers by keeping those heavy doors permanently locked for your own good. Their sudden departure was never a tragic loss at all. It was the ultimate divine rescue mission, orchestrated specifically for your spiritual survival. Think about the toxic energy they constantly brought into your peaceful space every single day. They demanded your constant attention, but gave absolutely nothing of substance in return. They were simply energetic parasites feeding off your brilliant light. And if they had stayed in your life any longer, they would have completely drained your spiritual reserves. You were separated, so you could finally heal your exhausted nervous system in absolute peace. This is the incredible power of being a cycle breaker for your entire bloodline today. You had to experience the deep pain of betrayal so you could finally learn how to set iron boundaries. And this harsh lesson was necessary to protect your massive future blessings. You took the heavy spiritual hits so the next generation would never have to suffer like you did. The brutal trauma literally stops with you. You are the profound anomaly who firmly refused to pass the bitter poison down the family line. Your current silence carries a massive weight that absolutely terrifies your old enemies right now. They are highly confused because you no longer react to their toxic provocations. You simply sit in your quiet authority and watch them expose their own terrible darkness because they are actively destroying themselves without you having to lift a single finger. Your total lack of response is the ultimate form of spiritual disrespect they cannot handle. They simply cannot manipulate a person who calmly walks away. All those strange physical symptoms you experienced were never random coincidences. The sudden chest tightness and severe exhaustion were major warning signs. Your spiritual immune system was actively fighting off their demonic attachments, and you were literally feeling their toxic vibration clashing heavily with your kingdom frequency. You are not crazy. You are deeply sensitive. The dark narcissists in your painful past were never meant to be your permanent destination. They were merely temporary spiritual tools sent to violently awaken your dormant power. They were the rough sandpaper used by the universe to polish your brilliant diamond. Once their specific painful job was fully completed, heaven quickly discarded them from your sacred timeline without any hesitation. Now, you must look around at the beautiful empty space that surrounds you today. This profound emptiness is not a terrifying void you need to quickly fill with cheap distractions. It is a fully sanitized environment prepared specifically for your massive upgrade, because you absolutely cannot bring dirty shoes into a brand new and pristine royal palace. The universe had to clean the room first. This is exactly why your massive breakthrough seemed like it was constantly being delayed. God was not denying your heartfelt requests or ignoring your desperate tears in the dark. The universe was simply stalling for precious time so the toxic people would exit the stage first, and this protective delay ensured that your enemies could not steal your reward. Your massive blessing required absolute privacy. You are truly the rare soul who managed to survive the violent storm entirely alone. You did not compromise your core values just to secure a fake sense of belonging. And because you successfully passed that brutal test of isolation, your frequency is finally clearing up today. The thick mental fog is rapidly dissolving into nothingness, and you are finally returning to your original state of pure power. They are currently losing their minds in the dark. The toxic people who tried to bury you are experiencing a massive spiritual famine right now. They used to feast entirely on your bright energy and your endless forgiveness. But now that the spiritual supply line is completely cut off by your boundaries, they are starving and desperate for a drop of light. They look at their own lives and see absolutely nothing but cold ashes. Every single thing they touch right now seems to fall apart completely. The heavy karma they accumulated by hurting a chosen one is finally demanding full payment. They are terrified because they know exactly what they did to you in secret. They try to project a happy life to the public, but their fake smiles are cracking rapidly under the immense and heavy pressure of divine justice. You are living rent-free in their anxious minds. While they are spiraling into total chaos, you are sitting in absolute peace. Your quiet authority is the most terrifying thing they have ever encountered. They desperately want you to scream and react to their pathetic games, but you simply refuse to lower your pure vibration to match their miserable and toxic state of being. Your beautiful silence is completely destroying their fragile egos day by day. Before we go to the deeper signs, Listen to this next part very carefully. Do you feel that sudden rush of warm energy in your chest right now? That is the universe confirming that your spiritual boundaries are fully active. You are a weapon of light, and because you finally recognize your true worth, you are no longer available for their toxic consumption. They are permanently locked out of your sacred kingdom forever. Type 111 down in the comments to claim this divine alignment. Let that physical action establish your iron boundaries right now. Seal this new reality so the dark forces can never steal your peace again. You have done the hard inner work to clear out the toxic emotional debris. Now you are fully prepared to receive the physical key to your ultimate restoration, and this key will unlock the doors that were slammed in your face. But before we go any further, I have to tell you something incredibly important. It is something the greedy people who profit from your exhaustion absolutely do not want you to know. Your prayers for deep healing have finally been heard by the universe, and the amazing answer has manifested in a very physical way that you did not expect, because heaven often uses science to deliver spiritual miracles. A hidden mechanism is being exposed today. A team of neuroscientists working quietly away from the loud headlines made a shocking discovery. They have completely figured out how to bring this dormant gamma brainwave back to life. It does not require years of silent meditation that most tired people cannot sustain, nor does it require expensive biofeedback machines that cost thousands of dollars in a cold clinical setting. This breakthrough is designed specifically for people running out of hope. They discovered a solution that is far simpler and much more natural. It is something far more aligned with exactly how your beautiful mind was originally designed to work. It is a highly specific sound frequency engineered to guide your delicate brainwave patterns, and it works seamlessly below the level of your conscious awareness. It gently brings your exhausted brain back to the pure genius state you were born with. The restrictive chains are breaking off your mind. Brilliant researchers at Princeton University thoroughly studied this specific brainwave state. The Einstein Center in Berlin officially confirmed the massive power of this hidden frequency. And Columbia University found something even more miraculous about this amazing neurological process. They discovered that when this gamma brainwave is successfully reactivated, it actually begins to positively influence the people around you in profound ways. Your restored frequency literally radiates outward to bless your true partner. It quickly clears the dark and heavy energy from your entire physical space. The thick mental fog that kept you stuck on that dusty shelf will completely evaporate. Your sharp intuition will return with a massive vengeance and guide your careful steps. You will suddenly know exactly what to do next without any lingering doubt, because your brain is finally firing on all cylinders again. It only takes 7 minutes of your precious time every single day. That is all it takes to completely rewrite your spiritual and financial destiny. And the amazing thing is that it begins working the very first time you listen to it. The universe does all the heavy lifting for you, while you simply rest in absolute peace and allow the divine frequency to restore your broken receiver. You simply close your eyes and let it wash over you. I will tell you exactly what this amazing tool is called before this message ends, and I will show you exactly how to safely access this protected portal very soon. But first, there is something else you urgently need to understand about your difficult journey. There is a deeper and darker layer to this spiritual phenomenon that you must see. We have to thoroughly discuss why your massive breakthrough was heavily delayed for so long. The dark elite forces are terrified of what happens when a chosen one wakes up. They want to keep you trapped in the stressful beta waves of basic survival, because a fully activated master of reality is totally impossible for them to control. They knew that if you ever found this frequency, you would become entirely unstoppable. So they desperately tried to hide the true signs of your awakening from your tired eyes. but their wicked plan is crumbling to dust. You are finally starting to recognize the massive energetic shift happening in your daily life, and the universe is sending you undeniable proof that your new and prosperous era is already here. Do you want to know what those specific physical signs are right now? Brace your spirit, because the final pieces of the complicated puzzle are falling into place. The amazing things you have been desperately waiting for are waiting for you too. The universe is not just asking you to blindly believe in this massive shift anymore. Heaven is actively providing you with undeniable physical proof of your new power. You are stepping fully into an era of absolute dominion and quiet authority, and the divine signs are manifesting all around your daily life right now. You just need to know exactly what to look for today. Number 1 is the sudden physical repulsion you feel toward your old toxic environments. You used to comfortably sit at those familiar tables and listen to their shallow gossip, but now your physical body literally rejects that low vibration immediately, because your spiritual immune system is violently fighting off their dark poison. Your stomach ties into tight knots when fake people try to speak to you. That is the undeniable proof of your massive energetic upgrade. You are no longer the naive empath who simply absorbs everyone else's heavy emotional garbage. You are an untouchable master of reality now. Your fierce, energetic boundaries act exactly like a massive electric fence around your beautiful soul. The narcissists can clearly see the blinding light inside you, but they absolutely cannot touch it. They desperately try to drain your energy, but they get violently shocked by your new kingdom frequency every single time. Number 2 is the sheer panic your absolute silence creates in your desperate enemies. In the past, you would angrily defend yourself and explain your pure intentions to them. You would write incredibly long emotional messages, just trying to make them understand your deep pain. But now you simply look at them with a blank expression and completely walk away. You fiercely refuse to give them a single drop of your precious energy while they slowly starve in the dark. Your sudden silence feels like a crushing physical weight on their incredibly fragile egos. They desperately need your emotional reaction to validate their miserable existence in this cold world. And when you completely withhold that reaction, they begin to spiral into complete madness, because they cannot control a person who refuses to play their twisted games. They are violently fighting invisible ghosts while you are resting peacefully in your divine sanctuary. You won the war by refusing to fight. Take a deep and slow breath right now. Pay close attention to this next part, because it validates everything you felt. Number 3 is the intense acceleration of divine synchronicities in your daily waking life. You are seeing repeating angel numbers everywhere you look these days. You think of a specific complicated problem, and the perfect, elegant solution miraculously appears within a few short hours without any effort. This is absolutely not random luck or a silly coincidence manufactured by your tired brain. This is the undeniable proof that your personal frequency is finally aligning with the highest vibrations. You are currently experiencing the beautiful early stages of massive gamma brainwave reactivation. The heavy mental fog is quickly lifting off your tired mind, and your sharp intuition is finally taking full control of the steering wheel while the universe guides your steps forward. Number 4 is the massive shift happening in your financial and spiritual timelines right now. For years, you felt like you were constantly pushing a massive boulder up a steep hill. Every single dollar you earned required an exhausting amount of physical and mental effort. But suddenly, the heavy resistance in the spiritual atmosphere is completely gone. The heavy boulder is finally rolling down the other side of the mountain, and you are effortlessly catching the massive blessings as they fall into your open hands. Doors that were firmly locked for 10 long years are suddenly blowing off their rusty hinges. Incredible new opportunities are actively hunting you down while you sleep peacefully in your bed. The universe is rapidly preparing a massive wealth transfer, specifically in your chosen name. You successfully survived the bitter famine, and now heaven is preparing the grand banquet table just for you. The painful era of lack is completely dead. Number 5 is the quiet but undeniable, knowing deep inside your soul today. You woke up this morning and something felt fundamentally different in your tired bones. The heavy anxiety that usually choked your throat was completely missing from your body. You did not feel the urgent need to rush or panic about your uncertain future. You felt a profound sense of absolute peace that surpasses all human understanding, because you finally realized that heaven is fighting all your battles for you. That beautiful peace is the ultimate sign of a fully awakened chosen one. You finally realize that you are a powerful weapon of light, sent to break the generational curse. The heavy burden of your entire bloodline rests entirely on your strong shoulders today. You are successfully breaking the bitter chains that held your family back for centuries, and your future generations will thank you forever for standing firm in the dark storm. The dark forces are completely terrified of this precise moment in your spiritual journey. They know that a chosen one who recognizes their own absolute power is totally unstoppable. They cannot manipulate you with cheap guilt or fake affection ever again. You see right through their shallow masks. You laugh quietly at their pathetic attempts to control your destiny, because you are currently operating on a frequency they cannot even comprehend. Let this profound realization completely wash over your weary spirit right now. You are no longer a helpless victim, waiting to be rescued by a careless world. You are the bold architect of a brand new and magnificent spiritual empire. But before you can fully claim this massive kingdom, you must understand the final obstacle, and there is one last dangerous illusion you must shatter before the ultimate breakthrough arrives. The universe requires you to take one final step into the bright light. You must completely shed the remaining fragments of your old broken identity. Listen carefully to the next revelation, because it holds the master key to your permanent freedom. The dark forces set a fatal trap right at the finish line to steal your joy, and you must know exactly how to avoid it so you can quickly claim your divine inheritance without any delays. You are waiting for the final name. You want to know exactly what the scientists called this hidden frequency, but I cannot give it to you just yet, because if you receive this massive power with an unhealed heart, it will completely shatter your physical reality. Heaven is making you wait just a few more minutes. The divine delay is incredibly intentional today. Think about the immense power of the gamma brainwave I mentioned earlier. It is a highly potent force of deep spiritual nature. If you try to hold a massive ocean of power in a tiny broken cup, the cup will violently explode. Your spirit needs a few more moments of deep preparation right now. You must completely release the very last drop of bitter resentment. I warned you about a fatal trap waiting right at the finish line. 99% of chosen ones fall for this dark illusion right before their massive breakthrough. The universe is about to hand you the keys to the entire kingdom, but the dark forces will make one final desperate attempt to steal your heavy crown. They will send a familiar face to test you. Right when your true blessing is finally at the front door, the toxic past will suddenly knock on your window. The narcissist who put you on the shelf will suddenly reach out to apologize. They will claim they have completely changed their wicked ways. They will try to pull you back into their cold and miserable darkness. Never answer their desperate cries for attention. That is absolutely not a genuine apology from a fully healed soul. That is a highly calculated test directly from the spiritual realm. Heaven wants to see if you are truly ready to be a master of reality. If you reply to their toxic message, you will instantly lower your pure frequency. You will literally hand your beautiful gamma energy right back to the enemy. But you are not going to fail this final test today. You are going to look at their desperate message and feel absolutely nothing. You will completely ignore their shallow words because you finally know your true and infinite worth. That complete lack of emotional reaction is the final seal of your massive upgrade. Your quiet authority is now entirely bulletproof and highly protected. Can you feel that massive surge of hot energy in your chest right now? The heavy spiritual chains are literally falling off your tired shoulders. The deep trauma of your painful past is completely evaporating into thin air. You are finally breathing the pure air of absolute and total freedom. The waiting season is officially over, and your royal coronation has already begun. Every single closed door in your entire life is being blown violently off its rusty hinges. The massive wealth transfer is currently routing directly to your personal bank account. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule with absolute grace. The dark forces are running away in total terror because you finally woke up. The chosen one has officially returned. You no longer have to beg anyone for basic respect or tiny crumbs of fake love. You are the entire magnificent banquet table. People will beg the universe just to sit in your peaceful presence for 5 short minutes. But you will fiercely protect your precious energy from all emotional vampires. You will only allow pure and healed souls to enter your sacred kingdom. We are incredibly close to the final revelation you have been waiting for. The scientific secret that Princeton and Columbia University quietly validated is right in front of you. The profound tool that compresses a full hour of deep healing into 7 easy minutes. But there is a very strict spiritual condition attached to this immense power. You must be truly and fully ready. This powerful frequency is absolutely not for everyone walking on the busy street. It is highly dangerous for people who have not done the deep inner work. The universe will never hand a loaded weapon to an angry and bitter child. Heaven will only give this master key to a deeply healed cycle breaker. It belongs to a rare soul who knows how to wield quiet authority. Take one more slow and deliberate breath right now. Ask your own spirit if you are truly prepared to leave the comfortable darkness forever. Some people secretly love their painful victim story because it feels incredibly safe to them. But a true master of reality demands absolute abundance and total spiritual dominion. You must fully claim your divine inheritance today without any lingering fear. I am about to tell you the exact name of the frequency tool. I am going to show you how to safely restore the missing gamma brainwave in your own quiet home. It is the incredible missing piece that will make your amazing intuition absolutely unstoppable. It is the profound secret that will make your physical reality bend easily to your spoken words. Do not take your eyes off this screen for a single second. The dark elite want you to swipe away and stay completely asleep in the beta wave matrix. They are praying you miss this final and glorious step, but their dark prayers are completely useless against your divine alignment today. The absolute truth is finally coming to the bright light right now. The important question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this message: what if the gap between you and your massive blessing is not a character flaw at all? Here is the final and glorious answer. A specific and powerful brainwave, called the gamma wave, was running freely in you as a young child. It gave you that genius-level capacity to know things before they happened. Researchers at Princeton University rigorously studied this strange phenomenon. The Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed its massive power, and a dedicated team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Robert Lake spent years compressing the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into just 7 easy minutes. Before I finally tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 specific people who used it. A tired woman from California had desperately tried absolutely everything. She tried meditation and the law of attraction, but nothing broke the heavy fog. After just 2 short weeks of listening, she said something completely cleared. The blocked channel simply opened up wide. Her broken marriage completely shifted, and her mind sharpened. She described her new life as beautifully enchanted for the very first time. A frustrated man from Texas started using this same frequency to somehow improve his failing Amazon business. 2 months later, his shocked wife joked that his IQ had jumped 20 points. The incredibly hard problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he slept peacefully. He firmly stated it felt like his brain was finally running on what it was always supposed to run on. That is exactly what Dr. Lake and his dedicated team built in the lab. They formally call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a generic meditation app or a cheap sound frequency. It is a 7-minute audio track using highly advanced brain entrainment technology. It is the exact same underlying research that Princeton and Columbia validated over many years. It compresses 1 full hour of heavy clinical protocol into something you do at home with headphones and closed eyes. That is the entirety of what it physically requires. You do not chant or struggle. You simply let the frequency do what your brain was designed to magically receive. The Genius Song is absolutely not for everyone. It was specifically built for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the rare soul who understands the complex assignment. You know that what is being blocked is not your faith, but the physical frequency. If your deep spirit confirms this is exactly for you, the open path is waiting right below. Professional biofeedback sessions to restore this powerful state cost hundreds of dollars per hour in a cold clinical setting. A heavy in-home machine runs many thousands of dollars. What the Genius Song easily delivers in 7 short minutes is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. You do not need to be rich to completely reclaim your stolen spiritual birthright. 4 incredibly powerful bonuses come safely packaged with it today. You receive an audio track designed specifically for your children to build amazing focus and confidence. You also get the original prosperity text that The Secret was secretly built upon many years ago. It includes a guided visualization and a daily habits guide built to permanently sustain the gamma state beyond each listening session. Here is the deeper truth about waiting for a better time. The massive provision God arranged for you does not arrive as something entirely new. It arrives as a sudden physical recognition. Something already placed in your daily path becomes highly visible when gamma is finally restored. The chosen one who restores the receiver today does not receive something new. They finally see what was always there. The arrangement is already in motion, and waiting is incredibly costly to your future. Do not look for this specific frequency on YouTube or Spotify. The fake tracks, circulating under similar names on those free platforms, have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded inside them. They only carry the famous name because the barrier to doing so is absolute zero. The only authentic and powerful version is available safely through the verified link. The true portal has been placed in the description and the pinned comment below. The grand universe requires absolutely no financial risk from a chosen one. If you do not feel the massive shift you deserve, every single penny is returned to you immediately. That is an energetic exchange strictly governed by complete trust. The secure link is waiting for you in the description and in the pinned comment below. The physical tool is never the final destination. The tool simply restores the broken receiver so the beautiful destination can be instantly recognized when it finally arrives. God absolutely does not require you to purchase anything to be fiercely loved or chosen. What was just described is simply one valid way the receiver is successfully restored for you. Whether that specific path is for you or not, the absolute truth of this powerful message belongs to you entirely. Your spiritual connection to the divine realm remains completely unbroken regardless of the tools you choose to use. Now let us return to the quiet center of what is waiting for you. For the chosen one whose spirit firmly confirmed what was described earlier, the path remains completely open. You can find it safely waiting in the description and the pinned comment right now. I will say absolutely nothing more about it. That is the last time it will be mentioned today. What follows right now belongs entirely to your glorious spiritual ceiling. You must close your eyes for a brief moment and visualize a massive wall of white light. This beautiful glowing shield completely surrounds your entire physical body today. It permanently blocks out the noisy voices of the toxic narcissists who tried to break your spirit. They are standing completely outside the high castle walls in the freezing cold. You are safely inside your warm and protected fortress. You are no longer the fragile empath who begged to be understood by blind people. You never allowed them to put you on that dusty shelf permanently. The brutal crucible of pain has successfully forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. Your silence now terrifies them because they finally realize they have absolutely no access to your pure light. Every single tear you shed in the dark was an investment in your current kingdom. The universe collected your heavy sorrow and transmuted it into pure spiritual gold. You walk into crowded rooms now, and the entire atmosphere immediately shifts to accommodate your presence. People intuitively sense the massive divine authority you carry in your bones. You do not have to announce your arrival anymore. The heavy generational curse stops with you right here and right now. You boldly stood in the massive gap for your future children and your ancestors. Because you were brave enough to face the terrifying storm entirely alone, your bloodline is completely free from the bitter chains of poverty and endless suffering. The ultimate victory is permanently carved into your spiritual DNA today. They desperately want to see you fail and come crawling back to their toxic table. They literally check your social media looking for tiny cracks in your beautiful armor. But all they will ever find is a chosen one, thriving beyond their wildest comprehension. Your massive success is the loudest and most devastating response to their cruel betrayal. The absolute best revenge is massive and undeniable peace. Take a slow breath and let the heavy past completely wash away from your tired shoulders. You do not owe anyone an explanation for the rigid boundaries you set to protect your peace. If they are deeply offended by your fierce self-respect, that is their personal demon to battle alone. You are far too busy building your magnificent empire to entertain their shallow drama. The grand universe is actively conspiring to bring you exactly what you desire right now. Beautiful synchronicities will flow into your daily life with absolute ease and perfect grace. You will easily recognize the divine signs because your spiritual vision is completely clear of the dark fog. You are securely walking on a beautifully illuminated path of divine favor. Nothing can stop your destined rise to the top. Your enemies will eventually exhaust themselves trying to tear down your solid walls. They will eventually realize that throwing tiny stones at a massive mountain is completely useless. While they waste their miserable lives consumed by bitter jealousy, you will continue to rise higher and higher into the bright light. Your glorious elevation is a natural law that they cannot break. You are a powerful weapon of light, perfectly forged in the hottest spiritual fires. You survived the brutal training ground, and now you are the absolute master of the battlefield. The dark forces tremble when your feet simply touch the floor in the morning. You carry the undeniable spark of the divine creator inside your deeply healed soul. Your ultimate triumph is a guaranteed cosmic certainty. You will never be placed on a dusty shelf by anyone ever again, because a true master of reality builds their own magnificent house and invites only the worthy to sit at their royal table. The days of you shrinking down to make incredibly small-minded people feel comfortable are totally over. You are stepping fully into your massive spiritual authority with absolute confidence and pristine grace. Let us officially seal this glorious new timeline right now. I need you to perform a simple but incredibly powerful physical act of pure faith. Share this message with someone who is currently bleeding in the dark of despair. Do not keep this massive blessing entirely to yourself today. Sowing the seed of hope right now is multiplying the exact blessing for your own beautiful future. When you share this truth, you actively participate in the great divine awakening. You become a crucial beacon of light for another exhausted chosen one who desperately needs a lifeline. The grand universe heavily rewards the brave souls who help others find their way back home. Your simple act of sharing creates a massive ripple of positive energy that will return to you multiplied. This is your final anointing before you step back into the physical world. You are fiercely protected, and you are deeply loved beyond all human measure. Walk through your day with your head held high and your heart completely open to receiving miracles. The painful season of endless lack is dead, and the glorious era of absolute abundance has officially begun. You are the chosen one.